All right, we're back from our session we had earlier. We had to kind of switch up between classes and stuff there. But we will be bringing on our next guest. You will see who that is here in a second. But as you can see, we brought Cherry back. Okay. Cherry back for another episode. He was busy during our last little bit that we were talking there. But
he had some homework to catch up on. But, so, how's your guys' day been today?
Pretty good.
Solid.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of, I don't know. In school, so can't get too much. But it is Thursday. You know what that means.
Friday Night Lights.
And perfect practice.
Woo! Oh,
team dinner.
Team dinner. I was going to say, you can't forget that.
But
I wonder what we're having today. Probably
it's
something
tacos.
Good.
Tacos. And then at our table, we're going to have chips and salsa, too, at the beginning.
Oh, my. You know what the dessert is?
No.
It's hopefully it's something good. I love desserts.
I don't know.
But, yeah. So.
Oh, I know what the dessert is.
What is it?
It's a birthday cake, 'cause my birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna have the whole crowd sing "Happy Birthday to you." I'm gonna save the rest for later.
I hope not.
Preston, don't ever do that again.
Shut up, Jerry.
I will.
That was kind of bad. Don't do that.
Hey, I swear if they say something over the announcements about it being my birthday or something going on.
I thought I still had the vocal cords. I don't.
No,
I
you
didn't
don't.
do the.
All right, let's just kind of. Again, anybody that would like to sponsor the podcast, or just our media department in general, remember you can get a hold of us on our Twitter or Instagram. I will be checking those often. I actually do need to make another post, but.
And if you are watching this video right now, go watch the other ones that we've released because they're very good.
Do subscribe if you haven't yet. Turn on your post notifications so it'll let you know every time we post something. Like we will be well, I guess this won't be.
Hit that little red button.
This one might not be till next week. So let's see, this week, tomorrow we will release our one we did with Coach O. So you guys will actually be seeing that for a week. But if you're watching that one before that, or this one before that one, go check that one out. It's pretty good. We had a good long talk with Coach O.
It's pretty salty.
Kind of learned a lot about him. It's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. So that'll be fun to see what you guys think about that and get to know Coach O like we did. We're going to bring in our guest of this podcast, Mr. Kaufman. Can you please join us on the set?
It's a pretty nice thing we built in here, isn't it?
It's pretty cool.
How's it going today?
Oh, I can't complain, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Nice Thursday so far.
Good. Yeah, we can actually talk about that starting us off, is how we kind of made our little own set here, kind of in this plain old room of just white bricks. We hung some sheets, and it kind of looks like we're in a whole different room or even just kind of a whole different space.
Yeah, it gives it a whole different sort of vibe, especially for, you know, everything that happens in here.
Yeah, and with the lights and everything. I mean, it's crazy how many different things we film in the same room, going from the podcast to the news to hopefully a children's show here.
That'd be fun.
Oh, no, we'll get into that here in a minute. So,
Whoa. Hey, don't leak anything, dude.
All right, let's start us off with the first question. How did you get, what made you want to start the media department, and how did we kind of get things started from there?
So when I moved here from my last district, I had streamed a couple games, but it was like, you know, at the time at least. Now on YouTube at least you have to have 1,000 subscribers in order to stream from like a phone or a tablet, but at the time you didn't. And I asked Mr. Kane, who was the principal at the time, hey, can we go ahead and give this a shot as well? And I'd had some success with it at my previous school, and he said, yeah, sure, let's go for it. And I wasn't teaching media at that particular point in time, and slowly over the course of that next year, we sort of built up what we were doing. I figured out how to do more and more with it, and we moved on to having an actual camera and a computer and all of that stuff. And then it turned into that interactive media class the next year. I took that over from Mrs. McManus and only had, I think, 6 or 7 kids in it that year. And it's just sort of grown from there. I think we had like 14 or 15 last year, and now we're up to 20 in between the two video production and interactive media class. So,
that's pretty cool because, like you said, we started out by just streaming games. Now we stream games and have hundreds of people watch our games from all over the nation.
That was definitely a bit of a shock to me. Like, I remember when I first started and we got like 15 or 20 people. I was like, oh, that's awesome. We have
Right,
15 or
right.
20. And then I come down from it was last year during the playoffs. I was doing the play-by-play and everything for the football games. And I was, for the Madison game, I was up on top of the press box in like a deer blind to shield me from the wind.
Right.
With like, bundled up because it was really cold that
yeah.
night. And I come down to get warm at halftime and I see like 800 people watching the game. I'm like, this is more than I ever anticipated.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like just looking at the charts, it just continues to grow.
Yeah,
like
it's
crazy.
Because I mean, now like live streaming games every school does it. Because after the big shutdown for COVID, now it's just it's the new. I mean,
and it's expected, and doing it well is something that I sort of take pride in as
Right,
far as
correct.
us doing it.
Yeah.
A little bit better than just having a camera set up or
Right.
something like that.
Because
So
I've even talked to some people about our live streams, and they're like, because we'll go to a away game and someone will try to watch it there, and they'll be like, man, and so they'll be like, we're so spoiled with our home one, and they're like, we can't see anything on this one. They didn't move it, they did anything.
Yeah.
So,
it's interesting how many different ways you can do it, and so many different services out there now.
right.
I went with YouTube just because like it's the most easily visible. Like
Right.
like
Free
whether
and-
you're it's free, whether you're 10 years old or 80 years old, you know what YouTube is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going to something else, like I don't know what that is. Where do I get? How does it
Exactly.
work?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Going on to the next question, how did the CG sit down get started?
that was fairly it was unexpected to say the least. I was actually in the hospital.
Oh, geez.
Well, I wasn't in the hospital. My wife was in labor.
Oh, okay.
So we had gone in. Our second kid was being born, and it happened to be the last day of school of the COVID shutdown year. So no one was here or anything, and so I was basically fielding emails and stuff while I was waiting, for all of that. So I had getting those last minute grades put in and all that stuff. And I get an email from Lane Hebert that says, hey, we had me, Andrew, and Clay have this idea. Can we do it next year? And that was, that was the end of that first year where we only had the 7 kids. And at this point, we've been out of school for, 3 or 4 months or whatever it was. And I'm like, sure, let's give it a shot. What equipment do we need? Because I'll freely admit to this. For everything I know how to do, I know basically nothing. Like I know how this mixer works. I know what it's supposed to do, but as far as getting it to work that first time, I had never used one of these before we got this. And
Right.
so they asked me, I said, yeah, let's go for it. Let's see how it goes. Because we were looking for something else to do rather than just live streaming games and doing CG News. Like
Right.
that's just not enough to
And-
do during the week to justify having a whole class. We need to do some more stuff.
And
so.
I feel like those things are so fast paced. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's the news, it's telling you what's happening. It's the game, and then this kind of adds that little bit of slow down. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
We're
get
just
to
talking.
get to
Relax.
know somebody or get to
Exactly.
really have an in-depth conversation. Yeah,
Which, shout out to Lane, Clay, Keaton, and Andrew, because I know, when we got this stuff first, they were testing all that stuff out,
yeah.
testing all the stuff.
It was quite the process of getting it started last year because we had to make sure that everything worked together. And so I had to learn how to use that, get it hooked up, what buttons need to be pushed, because if the right button isn't pushed, then we can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go to the computer. And so I have to make sure that I know how that works before I can give it to all of you guys to play around with and be like, okay, make sure these 2 buttons are pushed so we can hear it. We had to get in all the equipment. We got HCI actually paid for a lot of the stuff. They went around and they said, hey, if we raise the money to get the equipment, can we do it? And I said, yeah, that was part of what Lane wanted to do. And I think within a week, he had raised enough money, talked to people and everything to purchase everything that we have here.
everything
So-
went extremely fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know with the sponsors, within a week we probably had $1,500 or so.
It
around
was.
there.
I think by the time all the microphones, the mixer, all of that stuff. And
Oh, so this was bought with that money for the podcast. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. This was with that original purchase that we made 2 summers ago, basically.
Right. And all this stuff, I mean, it's not cheap. I mean,
No,
any of this
it's
isn't cheap.
not. And we made sure and got stuff that was going to be good quality stuff that was going to last us a while, because we don't have to purchase stuff every single year.
And then we added on with the curtains. Now it looks like we're in our own room.
Yeah.
We're in reality. We're in the middle of the old computer lab. And the lights that add the mood to it. I mean, the more cameras, and you got different angles that they'll see in even last week's podcast, and this week we added another angle. So it's just gonna.
And it's just going to keep building and stuff like that. And I think the more we can get, community members involved in getting to know, not just people that are in the school, but, as many people as we can to sort of paint a picture of where we live.
And that's where I really like the one with Coach O, because nobody knows the guy. I mean, they moved and they see him at games, running back and forth, doing big jobs. They know he's the AD, but nobody knows Coach O. And then I think that was really cool, and I can't wait for that to come out tomorrow. And people are going to see it and be like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so where do you see the future of this class going, or what are your plans to add on any new segment or ideas to the?
As far as new stuff that I want to try this year, I know second semester, because everything sort of dies off once we get past basketball season. That last 9 weeks has sort of been we tried doing baseball last year, but I don't necessarily think we have the equipment to do both baseball and softball at the same time and do it well enough to where I'm comfortable doing it.
And they get pretty dirty.
Everything got really dirty.
Not good on our equipment, to be honest.
If we could do it better, I'd be all for it, but I just don't know if we have the equipment at the moment to do it well. And we only had 5 people watching it.
Right.
And I can't be there because I'm assistant track coach, so I can't go over there and watch and make sure everything's going.
So you coach a lot.
Yeah, I coach all 3 sports. So all 3 seasons.
That's crazy. But and it's tough because the chain link fence, it's always in the way, and I mean there's nowhere else to put the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
And just the dirtiness. I mean, it's not good on the equipment like our cameras. It's
one of them got knocked over last year, so we gotta. There's a little dent in the plastic case, but it still works, so I'm not too worried about it.
And are we using it?
Yeah, it's that one back there. So, I'd like to, if we could do a better job with that, I'd like to continue to do it, because we do need to represent all of our sports, but at the same time, there's really not as much to do, and we should have a good grasp of some stuff. And with some of the new kids we have in the class, we have some that are a little bit more artistically driven than some of our others, and have been in the past.
Calling me out?
Maybe a little bit.
There's a difference between us, doing this stuff is our artistic side.
Yeah.
And those guys that I'm sure you're about to explain on the show that they're going to work on.
Like I said, I have 2 very small children at home, and so we have to watch a lot of children's programming and stuff like that. No, not Pokemon.
No, Coco Melon.
Coco Melon is banned in my house. That is nightmare fuel.
Oh man.
They don't blink.
You can't do that.
Scary a little bit.
That's just weird. I
don't know. If I'm watching the show, I don't pay attention to stuff like that.
The one reason is they don't blink.
Like you have this baby that just doesn't blink. But anyway, so we have to watch a lot of children's programming and stuff. And we have last year with some of the new computers we have. Well, I say new, but I sort of redid them, put a new operating system on them, and it comes with Blender, which is a 3D animation program, which is awesome. I didn't know that was something that we could do until last year when I discovered it, and it's free.
Yeah.
It's very complicated, and I don't understand how to use it really, but there's a lot of tutorials out there, and I'm sure they will learn how to do it. But we have a green screen.
Yeah.
And so we could do something I was watching Blue's Clues with my 1-year-old, and I'm like, well, shoot, we could do that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason we can't do that. So I have right now 4 freshman girls in the class that are working on designing characters and stuff like that to do that second semester and actually put that into practice. But that's going to be a long process and project that we're going to have to get towards. But I want to get the elementary school involved and everything like that.
So where are you in that process now with that show, or have you really even touched it yet?
As far as a concept for it, I sort of know, if we can do some 2D animation stuff, some green screen stuff, some educational bits with the going and filming live action stuff at the elementary school,
Right.
And then piece it all together. As long as we have a few educational lessons throughout it and make
Correct.
sure those things work, like.
And maybe if we can get a hold of those teachers, see maybe what they're learning.
I have emailed them. I haven't got anything back because I just did it yesterday. So,
Okay.
but yeah, well, they've started off with concept art of some of the characters and stuff like that for like the animated portion of it.
Right.
And then hopefully soon they'll get on the 3D stuff so we can start creating backdrops and everything for the green
Exactly.
screen portion.
So, are you gonna need to get any different equipment to kind of film the movements and stuff, or you think you'll be able to do it with the stuff we have?
For the for like the green screen stuff.
Yeah.
You can actually, I don't know necessarily about, because we can add like with Blender itself, so you can create the background and then there's an actual video editor on there, so you can layer the videos on there like we would on WeVideo or anything else that we use.
Yeah.
And so as long as we place the objects, I think on the because you can move them
Right.
around.
Yeah.
As long as we place them where they need to go, we can sort of make it work. That's I
Yeah,
think.
hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
But we got to get there first to see that to make sure that we can actually do that
Right.
first.
Yeah.
So
So that was the last question of sit down for this week, and thank you for joining us, Kaufman. It's always a pleasure.
We enjoyed talking to you about the
Yep.
class, and hopefully more people now know about the class because they always see the live streams and the videos that we put
Yeah.
on. But
They don't see the man behind the camera.
Yeah.
well, that's
That's
true.
you.
That's on purpose, though. A lot of the time, like I don't necessarily enjoy being the one in front of the camera or
Right.
anything like that. I'd rather just have the work speak for itself. But without putting out quality products and doing stuff that like people are interested in, we're not going to have anything to go on. So
Right.
True.
it
And I mean, I hope this also lets people know more about kind of what we do and what our plans are. How we talked about the children's show. I think a lot will enjoy that.
Yeah, I that's something I really want to look forward to. I'm really looking forward to doing. And I know our first broadcast this year for the Gospel game, things didn't go quite as planned for some things.
Right.
It happens.
Weather played into that, so we had to change a couple things up. And then we had some troubles with things jumping around, and so I want to get stuff back onto HCI's local channel and stuff. But
Oh,
I just
right.
I didn't feel comfortable putting that onto
Right,
like the
'cause
TV because it just wasn't quite up to the
Yeah.
standard that
Yeah.
I want.
It
So-
wasn't to what we are capable of.
yeah. So, but that I believe that should be fixed tomorrow when we go outside. We're gonna test it just to
Okay.
make sure.
Against Washington County.
Yeah. But that means you guys get to like jump on the bleachers and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting.
Right.
Sounds fun.
So, because I think that's what the problem was. So, the one thing that I do want to get out there to make sure is like, and this is a huge thank you to Jeff Collins, because he's the guy that ran the camera for
Right.
most of the last 3 years, probably 80 to 90% of the live streams that we've done over the course of this entire channel have been him behind the camera.
Yeah,
and
big
he's
help.
Very big help. And without, we wouldn't have the nice 4K camera we do. And if he
Right.
didn't send me, hey, get this one.
Right.
But we're transitioning to having students run the cameras now. So that's a big change. So it's not our usual thing. And he is still helping out, but it's more of a
Right.
consultant role. He's able to retire,
Yeah,
enjoy the
yeah.
game, and watch
Right, he can relax a
watch his
little bit more.
kids.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
without him, we wouldn't be where we are. So I had to mention him in there.
Yeah, and especially the HCI. I think you get an HCI for most of this amazing equipment
Yeah.
we have, and even
Yeah.
other stuff too that we use for our broadcasting. And it's just it's been a game changer, allowing us to come out here and make stuff that we love doing, and enjoying these times and letting us get a little. I don't know. This is also a work of maybe some public speaking or something like that, helping out actually other school wise, or how in the future to be able to function kind of.
Yeah, and be able to make something like this is, you guys, this is a student sort of driven
Right.
class.
Yeah.
Like I sort of tell you, hey, maybe we can go in this direction, but it's up to you guys to then take it. And the three of you have really like grabbed onto this year and went with it. And so we just need to keep adding
going.
that on.
Oh, yeah.
The only issue is we get too many people in
in the class.
In the studio.
It's a good problem to have when we have 20 kids.
Right.
But
it's keeping them on task.
Yeah, it's keeping 20 kids on task at all times, doing like 5 different projects. It's a bit of a chaotic 45 minutes to an hour, but it's
also fun.
Well, it's fun and it's rewarding, and that's what I got into teaching to do. So that's really, unless you guys have anything else for me,
no.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Thank you for coming on. We look forward to getting this out and kind of more people can, look into our class and know what's about. Maybe get some more people in the future to come into it.
Some other students that watch this, just next year enroll in this class.
Well, I mean, we have 2 juniors and a sophomore, so
got another year of this.
Well, got another year, and then we got to find some people to fill the shoes here. So we'll get that
big
rolling.
shoes to fill.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us on this podcast. We will see you guys in episode 4, season 2.
See ya.
Bye.